let's take a look at our top selections. Hey everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beard. Feature race at Aqueduct on Sunday. Race number 8. Let's throw up the field for the $100,000 Jimmy Winkfield Stakes. We're going 7/8 of a mile for 3-year-olds. Mike, favored coupled entry from the Mid-Atlantic area. The 1 Hello Hot Rod, the 1A Scotch Rocks. They're 7-5 on the morning line. Hello Hot Rod, one of two-time winners in this field.
Yeah, definitely. Hello Hot Rod sort of looks like the reason why the entry's favorite. It's unfortunate if you like Scotch Rocks, Dan, because of some ridiculous rider rule there that they have in New York. Scott Rocks doesn't get to run on his own, and he could have been, I guess, an interesting long shot in here.
Let's look at Hello Hot Rod's most recent race. This colt is a half-brother to Hello Beautiful, currently the Mid-Atlantic's leading filly and mare sprinter. Hello Hot Rod winning for the second time in a row. Sheldon Russell was aboard this day for his wife, Brittany. Got up close to the pace, finishes it off, and perhaps most importantly, beat 3 next out winners. The third-place horse came back to win by almost 8 lengths with an 81 Beyer speed figure. This Mosler colt's faced some decent horses down at Laurel.
Agreed. Like that this was a pretty live race. Like that he won it pretty easily at the end. Like that he improved again in winning that race. And I also just like the fact that he could have wired that field. I mean, he had plenty of speed to make the lead. It looked like Sheldon Russell didn't want it. He just sat up there on the outside, was much the best at the end. And now he even gets to cut back a furlong in here. It's a lot to like about this horse.
Horse taking a big jump up in classes up next. That's the 2 Magnificent Chrome. This is a son of California Chrome who just pulled off a 43-1 upset in a maiden claiming race. Let's watch that start right now. Magnificent Chrome is on the outside as they turn for home, and in the red blinkers, he's going to eventually wear these horses down. This was a much improved performance for Magnificent Chrome. Maybe he's slowly figuring the game out, but he's going to have to really improve again as he faces better horses.
Right. He did improve in this race. That's for sure. He was cutting back in distance for this. It feels like that really helped him, and he gets the job done. He'll be a big price once again in this race.
Scotch Rocks, the number 1A, won over a muddy surface 2 starts back. Came from well off the pace to win that 6.5 furlong heat, and then was in against some good stake sprinters down at Laurel. Kenny Had a Notion, May the Horse Be With You. That was a race that was controlled up front. They ran 1-2 all the way around the track, and I wonder if closers like Scotch Rocks were just a little bit compromised.
He might have been. He could also be compromised in this race, Dan. We'll see how fast they go in front of him. His first 2 races were pretty good. I mean, they weren't fast races, 57 Beyers for both of them, but he actually made, I thought anyway, pretty good late runs into both of those races to get close at the end. We'll see if he can do it here. I felt like he had to improve quite a bit to be competitive here. And, just the fact that he's, part of that entry now just takes away any value he might have offered.
It really hurts because he might have been an interesting price, just simply considering the fact that Harold Weiner's done so well at Aqueduct already with horses like Capo Cane coming in from Parks to win the Jerome. Wayburn is up next. This horse looked good last time out, I thought, Mike, over Sloppy going in a 7/8 of a mile race at Aqueduct. Let's watch that right now. I like the turn of foot he showed to create a bit of separation, turning into the stretch right here. And now he's going to go about his business to win with a 69 Beyer speed figure. The 4th place horse came back to run second, but improved the Beyer to a 72. I still think this colt's learning the game.
Yeah, I do too. You could see how green he was at his debut, Dan. He looked like he really needed that race. I think he's really improved in his 2 starts since then. And listen, he ran fine here. I don't feel like he was necessarily flattered so far by the horses who've run back out of this race. And the fact that he didn't change leads there in the stretch, I guess, could be concerning. But I feel like this horse has some talent. He's got a nice pedigree. Jimmy Jerkins is just not a guy that overrates his horses, Dan. I don't think he'd be running this horse in here if he didn't think he could be competitive. Very interesting trainer stats for Jerkins, with last out maiden winners going right to stakes races. He doesn't do it often, but when he does, they all run.
Eddie Barker's a very underrated trainer, and he has returned the ring back off of a debut victory at Aqueduct. This horse took a little bit of money in this spot, a son of Spitester. Let's watch this race. He showed good speed from the start, and I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of the Chad Brown horse that he holds off Subsidized, but Subsidized did come back to win his maiden in his very next start with a 76 Beyer. This return the ring looks like a little speedster.
Yeah, agreed. I think we look at this race kind of the same way. I'm not a fan of that Subsidized either, but he did come back to win. I still feel like this horse is, maybe a little hard to evaluate just off of this race. This is his only start. He got absolutely clear on the lead from the start. And, I just felt like it was a pretty mediocre horse chasing him home there. We'll see what he does here, Dan. He's far from impossible. He's got good speed.
Hello Hot Rod, one of the two multi-race winners in the field. The other is the 5, Pico De Oro, winner of the Ellis Park Juvenile at 7/8 of a mile over the summer. He was put in some tough spots after that. The Iroquois against Sitting on Go and recent Lecomte winner Midnight Bourbon. That Dreamer's Disease race at Keeneland, that horse just controlled the race up top. Mandaloon 2 back at Churchill Downs. He looks like a promising horse. He got back on the beam last time out at Turfway over the synthetic. That doesn't have to be his best surface. This horse, I think, is okay.
I agree with you. They did a lot of racing with him as a 2-year-old. It felt like he, pretty well thrived on it. And his last 2 races, since they cut him back in distance, are the 2 fastest races he's ever run. He's a little bit of a closing type of horse, which I don't love about him. He showed a little bit more speed on synthetic last time. I wonder if that will translate over to this race. But if he catches a pace, I'll expect him to make a late run.
Top pick time for race number 8, the $100,000 Jimmy Winkfield Stakes. We both were taken with Hello Hot Rod's most recent effort. He's come back with a bullet workout going 5/8 of a mile at Laurel, and I just like his tactical speed. Trevor McCarthy can get him into the race.
Yeah, I like that about him too. I like him that he's cutting back a little bit for this race as well. And at the end of the day, Dan, I just like all 3 of his races. I feel like this horse has run well all 3 times, and they've come in here with a pretty live horse, it looks like.
Same superfecta, different order. Mike's going 1-3-5-4. I'm going 1-5-3-4. It's the Jimmy Winkfield Stakes, the feature race at the Big A on Sunday. Approximate post time for race number 8, 3:50 Eastern. Good luck.